He had the talent to join the army, but one bad habit shattered his dream. Zion was wild-hearted and reckless. He didn't believe in rules. Not at home, not at school, and definitely not in life. His friends admired his carefree attitude. "You don't take anything seriously, bro," they'd say. But a carefree life without discipline is a disaster waiting to happen. And Zion was about to learn that the hard way. His room was always a mess, clothes on the floor, books scattered everywhere. He was intelligent, though. When it came to studies, he had the gift to grasp things quickly. Teachers often praised his potential but criticized his attitude. He could be brilliant, they'd say, if only he was disciplined. But Zion never listened. After college, his days were mostly wasted. Sitting with friends at the corner shop, sipping tea, joking for hours. Late nights, careless routines, and zero focus. He felt like life was long, and there was no need to rush. But dreams don't wait for the careless. Deep down, Zion had a dream. He wanted to join the army. The uniform, the respect, the pride, it called to him. Every time he saw a soldier, he imagined himself in their place. Strong, brave, respected. But he didn't realize what it actually took to get there. One day, he saw an ad for Army recruitment tests. Something inside him stirred. "I'm going for it," he declared. His friends laughed. "You? In the Army? You have to wake up on time there." But Zion smiled. "Watch me." And for the first time, he started preparing seriously. He studied hard, worked on his fitness, and surprisingly, passed the initial test. Medical, written, interview, everything went well. When he received the letter for final training selection, his house lit up with joy. His parents couldn't believe it. "Maybe now his life will change," his mother whispered with hope. Training day arrived. Zion stepped into the academy with dreams in his eyes. But the real test was just beginning. Discipline, routine, punctuality, the core of Army life. And that's where Zion started breaking. He missed wake-up calls, was late to drills, forgot to polish his boot. His instructors shouted, warned, and punished him. "This isn't a playground, cadet." But Zion's old habits clung to him like chains. He wanted to change but didn't know how. One morning, he was called to the office. A final warning, or maybe something worse. "You have potential," the officer said, "but no discipline. We can't afford that." Zion stood silently. He had no excuse left. The decision was made. He was sent home, not because he lacked strength, but because he lacked structure. His dream shattered. That uniform he imagined wearing was no longer his. All because of one thing: undisciplined living. He returned home in silence. No jokes, no tea shop, no friends. Just his room, his thoughts, and his regret. His mother didn't say a word, but her disappointment spoke louder than anything. 4 days, Zion locked himself away. He couldn't look at himself in the mirror. All he saw was failure. Not because he wasn't good enough, but because he had all the chances and wasted them. One night, he sat quietly in his room, tears in his eyes. He remembered the officer's words, "You have potential." And then something shifted. He whispered to himself, "This won't be the end. Not like this." Zion made a vow. He would change. Not for the world, not for anyone else, but for himself. Because the real enemy wasn't the system. It was his own habit. From the next morning, everything changed. He woke up at 5 a.m., made his bed, cleaned his room. He created a strict routine, eating, studying, exercising on time. No excuses. No delays. Just discipline. His parents watched silently. They didn't ask questions. They just observed. Slowly, his old friends drifted away. No more tea corners, no late-night hangs. Zion was walking alone, but forward. Months passed. Zion applied again for the Army selection. This time, he didn't just prepare, he transformed. Every test he gave with purpose. Every step with discipline. And then, the letter arrived again. Selected. The same academy. The same officers, but a very different Zion. Focused, polished, determined. His instructors noticed it immediately. No more late wake-ups, no missed drills, everything in place. Zion had finally learned the language of success, discipline. He became a role model among cadets, helping others, leading teams. The same boy who was once sent back was now leading from the front. This time, the dream was not slipping away. The final training day arrived. As he stood with others, saluting the flag, his eyes welled up, not with regret but with pride. He had earned it, every bit of it. The uniform was no longer a fantasy. It was real, resting proudly on his shoulders. Every stitch held a story of failure, pain, and comeback, of mistakes and correction, of dreams and discipline. He returned home in uniform. His parents' eyes filled with tears. "You made it happen," his father said, voice shaking. And for the first time, Zion replied, "No, Dad. I finally learned how to make it happen." Discipline didn't just save his career. It saved his life. From wasting, drifting, and losing himself. He wasn't perfect, but he was determined. And that made all the difference. Zion's life didn't change overnight. It changed the day he accepted responsibility. The day he stopped blaming and started building. And the day he replaced excuses with action. Because in the end, talent gives you hope. But discipline gives you power. And that power saved Zion's life. It can save yours too, if you're willing to change and stay changed. Discipline is the bridge between dreams and reality. Talent may give you potential, but only discipline turns it into success. Change begins the day you take responsibility, not for anyone else, but for yourself. If you liked this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends. Don't forget to subscribe to Story Tales and hit the notification bell.